Before leaving for her girls' trip, my wife laughed at me. When she came home, she was the one humiliated. The laugh still rings in my ears, sharp, careless, almost cruel. It was the kind of laugh someone gives when they've already made up their mind about you. I remember standing in the kitchen doorway that morning, watching her toss her hair back while zipping up her suitcase. I had asked a simple question. "You'll call me when you land?" And her response was that laugh, followed by a smirk that sliced deeper than any words. "Don't be ridiculous, Mark," she said. "It's a girls' trip, not a military operation. Relax. Relax." The word slapped me harder than the laugh. She brushed past me, the citrus of her perfume trailing behind, leaving a knot of unease tightening in my gut. I didn't know why it bothered me so much. Maybe it was the dismissiveness. Maybe it was the shift in her tone lately. Sharper edges, shorter patience, longer nights on her phone. Or maybe it was just the way she'd started looking at me. Like I was fading while she was stepping into some brighter, more exciting world. I tried to shake it off. Marriages go through phases, I told myself. Maybe I was being clingy. Maybe she was stressed. Maybe. But I had run out of maybes months ago. When she finally left, the house settled into a silence that felt too still. Normally, her absence gave me peace. This time it felt like the quiet before a storm. I spent the first day pretending everything was normal, cleaning, answering emails, cooking dinner for one. But by nightfall something in me cracked. A tiny traitorous impulse nudged me toward her home office. She never let me in there anymore. Claimed it was messy. Claimed she didn't want me reorganizing things. I pushed the door open. Her desk was spotless. Too spotless. On top of it sat her work laptop. She hadn't taken it with her, which was strange. She took it everywhere, even to the movies once. My chest tightened. I shouldn't look. I knew that. I also knew people only hide things they don't want found. My hand moved before my conscience could protest. The laptop opened without a password. A pit formed in my stomach. Her messages were still open, some with coworkers, a few with friends. Normal stuff. Then I noticed one thread pinned above the rest, marked with a star. A name I didn't recognize. Evan. I clicked. What I saw didn't explode, it seeped, burned, filled my lungs slowly like smoke. Their messages weren't explicit. They were worse. Intimate. Familiar. Inside jokes, late-night check-ins, digital touches, good morning and good night confessions wrapped in emojis she hadn't used with me in years. But it was the last message that gutted me. He's clueless. Leaving in the morning. I'll have you to myself all weekend. Don't make me wait. My vision blurred. The room swayed. The air felt like ice. She wasn't just cheating. She was mocking me while doing it. I don't know how long I stood there, fists clenched, breathing through a hurricane of heartbreak and rage. Part of me wanted to confront her right away. Part of me wanted to burn everything she left behind. But a colder, quieter part, the part she had laughed at, whispered, "Wait. Let her play her little game. Let her think I'm clueless. Let her walk back home into the truth she wrote with her own hands." So I waited. I screen recorded everything. I backed up her messages. I saved photos, timestamps, flight details, hotel confirmations. Not to expose her to the world, but for myself, for clarity, for closure, for armor. For the first time in months I slept. She returned 2 nights later. I heard the front door open, followed by her light footsteps and a humming tune. She was in a good mood. That alone nearly made me laugh. "Mark," she called. "I'm home." I sat at the dining table, her laptop open in front of me. Her humming stopped. She saw my face. Then she saw the screen. Then everything inside her seemed to freeze, as if her sins had reached out and grabbed her by the throat. "Oh," she whispered. "Not sorry. Not I can explain. Just oh." I let the silence chew on her. "You knew," she finally said, voice trembling. "No," I replied softly. "But you wanted me to." She blinked, stunned. Because it was true, her secrecy wasn't careful. It was sloppy, arrogant. It wasn't an accident. It was a confession delivered in fragments. She had been testing the boundaries of my silence, pushing to see how far betrayal could stretch before snapping. "I didn't mean," she started, and her voice cracked. "It wasn't supposed to be real." I finished. She nodded. "But it was real enough to lie about where you were staying. Real enough to spend the night with him. Real enough to laugh in my face before you left. Her mouth fell open. She hadn't expected me to say it. To use her laugh as a weapon against her. But betrayal has a strange way of sharpening memory. She sank into a chair across from me, burying her face in her hands. What now? She whispered. I leaned back, feeling the weight of months, maybe years, lift slowly off my shoulders. I don't know, I said honestly. But I know who I am. And I know what I deserve. And I don't deserve you, she murmured. I didn't answer. Some truths don't need confirmation. I ended things with him, she said quickly, desperately. Before I came home. I told him it was a mistake. I studied her. The tear-streaked cheeks. The shaking hands. The shame creeping up her neck like frost. Did you do it for me? I asked. Or because you were afraid of losing the comfort of this house? She couldn't answer. Her silence was my answer. I stood slowly, walked to the doorway and paused. You humiliated me before you left, I said quietly. But tonight you humiliated yourself. She winced as if slapped. I didn't pack her bags. I didn't scream. I didn't demand explanations she wasn't brave enough to give. Some betrayals don't need chaos. Some endings are loudest when whispered. She remained at the table long after I went upstairs, still and small, staring at the laptop that had exposed everything she tried to hide, and everything she could never repair. The house wasn't silent this time. It was peaceful. Something new. Something honest. Something mine.